I will speak about the archaeology in Bosnia and Herzegovina and about the archaeology, most significant archaeology sites in Bosnia and Herzegovina from the Paleolithic period to the Ottoman period. And my colleague Sara will speak about the siege of Sarajevo and cultural life during the siege of Sarajevo. So we have if you can see the period of archaeology in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the first archaeology researches and excavations were done during the Austro-Hungarian occupation. The key archaeologists from this period were Ciro Truhilka, Vjenceslav Radinski, Karl Paj, and first educated Bosnian archaeologist Vesil Čurčić. It's important to note that not for all the mentioned were educated archaeologists. Following the World War I, archaeology researches in Bosnia and Herzegovina stagnated. There is no documentation of the activities during this period. During the Socialist Federative Republic of Yugoslavia, prominent archaeologists emerged like Alojz Benac and Borivoj Čović. Benac is most known for his Pan-Illyrian theory. When we speak about the Paleolithic period in Bosnia and Herzegovina, the most significant site is Badanj near Stolac. Inside it can be seen the first and only engraving found in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and it represents an extraordinary work of Cro-Magnon men in these regions. We assume the engraving represents of an animal similar to horse. A certain number of bones were also founded with engraved figures of people or animals, but they are not fully visible. When we speak about the Neolithic period, the most significant culture is Butmir culture, named after the Butmir site located in Ilija near Sarajevo. The Butmir culture is characterized by pit houses, and you can see on these photos digital reconstruction inside of a Neolithic house from Butmir culture. Archaeologists have discovered around 19 pits with outdoor fireplaces found in open areas. The Butmir culture produced a vast number of pottery vessels, and the most significant aspect of Butmir culture, spiritual culture, is the bay clay figures. You can see it on this photo here. According to the archaeologists Alojz Benac and Borivoj Čović, in the period of Bronze and Iron period, Illyrian communities inhabited the whole area of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Hill forts were characteristic settlement type of this era, and burial practices involved entombed beneath barrows. Glasinac is the most extensively researched and significant location with barrows. The archaeological site Glasinac has been popular among the archaeological community since the 19th century. The first excavation of barrows was conducted by Austro-Hungarian Lieutenant Johannes Lexa. He also unearthed we call it in Bosnia, famous Glasinac chariot, but one fun fact, in our National Museum of Bosnia and Herzegovina, we have the separate room for the replica of Glasinac chariot, but the original artifacts is in National Museum in Vienna. A characteristic feature of the Iron Age at Glasinac is the presence of princely tombs. The term princely tombs is used due to the wealth of artifacts found in the graves. During the Roman Empire, Bosnia and Herzegovina belonged to the province of Illyricum, which is later divided into province Dalmatia and Pannonia. And after surprising the Illyrian Batons uprising, the Roman established permanent rule in this region. A well-preserved monuments are the epigraphic monuments, and you can see it on the photo, the oldest epigraphic monument found in Tasovčići near Čapljina. An inscription from Tasovčići was erected in honor of Octavian and his Victorian conquest of Sicily. The most archaeological site is Mogorilo near Čapljina, which was declared as a national monument of Bosnia and Herzegovina in 2002. Mogorilo represents a Roman villa rustica, although the architectural complex itself consists of several phases, as you can see on this layout of Mogorilo. The key characteristic of medieval Bosnia was the presence of both Orthodoxy and Catholicism, alongside the rule of bans and kings. The Crkva Bosanska, or when we translated the Bosnian Church, has a significant role in a political and economical landscape. But when we speak about the medieval period, the most significant are the tombstones called stečci, which were inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 2016. Common motifs depicted on the stečci include the architectural elements, astral symbols, animal, plants, and scenes of tournaments and hunting. The arrival of Ottomans were in the 15th century, and actually in that period we have the significant religion, linguistic, political, economical, military, and cultural changes in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Islamization increased, and Bosnia cities underwent significant development. Trade flourished in Bezistan. Bezistans are covered markets, and craftsmanship thrived, and the Ottomans constructed mosques, roads, and many bridges, and established a legal system based on Islamic law. When we speak about the Ottoman, we must mention the old bridge in Mostar and Mehmet Pasha Sokolović bridge in Visegrad, which are included in UNESCO World Heritage list. And I just want to mention the Kozja Čuprija, or Goat Bridge in Sarajevo, which represent a national monument of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And it's important to note that archaeology in Bosnia and Herzegovina represent cultural heritage that is universal. We have, and the statues are the best unique example of our common past. With the establishment of the Department of Archaeology in 2008 and the Institute of Archaeology in 2013 at the Faculty of Philosophy in University of Sarajevo, the process of preserving cultural heritage has begun, and opportunities have opened for numerous international projects like Tempus, Herishtam, and many more others, in which Bosnia and Herzegovina, as well as our professor and student, were included. And now I will give word to my colleague, Sara.
Hello again, everybody. So first, I will talk about the relation between armed conflict and cultural heritage. After that, I'll be more about cultural life during the siege of Sarajevo, and at the end about the reconciliation through cultural heritage in Bosnia and Herzegovina. First of all, I have to mention the Law Convention of UNESCO that's about protecting cultural heritage in the events of armed conflict. Here you can read what's it about a little more. I won't go into details. It was created in 1954. So Bosnia and Herzegovina was accepted in the UNESCO in 1993, and in 1995, the historical complex of Sarajevo was introduced into the so-called UNESCO's nominated list of World Heritage. So at the beginning of the war in the 90s, the aggressors aimed to destroy movable heritage like documents, libraries, archives, and etc. So in August of 1992, the town hall of Sarajevo and inside of it, the National University Library was set on fire. The whole catalog was destroyed, and about 90% of books and documents that were testifying about the history of Bosnia and Herzegovina were also destroyed. A lot of institutes tried their best to preserve their book collections, libraries. The Gazi Husrev-Bey's library was able to preserve the whole collection because throughout the 4 years, they moved the collections to various locations, and in that way, they were able to preserve it. Also, I think it's important to mention some organizations that were active throughout these years, like the Commission for the Protection of the Heritage of the City of Sarajevo, which later became the Association for Intercultural Activities and Heritage Rescue of the Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was a non-governmental organization that existed till 1995. Their main goal was to raise awareness of the urban side and culture side that was happening to Bosnia and Herzegovina. They organized a lot of conferences, published a lot of works. Their main goal was to affirm the value of the heritage under the motto, raising awareness of ourselves. They were really active throughout the whole period of the war. Yes. Also, during this period, a lot of institutions were left to fend for themselves. The National Art Gallery of Sarajevo, 53 works of art actually disappeared from the gallery. They think that they disappeared during the first years of the aggression. Still, the circumstances of their disappearance are unknown, and to this day, we still have not found these works of art. A lot of cultural heritage was sold on the illegal and illegal foreign art market. Also, the curators and workers of the National Museum of Bosnia and Herzegovina were forced to save the museum's treasures by themselves. They organized a lot of evacuations of the museum's exhibitions. In that way, they were able to preserve the whole museum's collection and exhibits. Also, through this period, the cultural life did not die in Sarajevo. Throughout the whole 4 years, exhibits were organized, artists were active, a few hundred books were published, 100 concerts were organized. Some of them performed in ruins. Here on the photos, you can see musicians playing in the ruins of the town hall. Also, film screenings took place on a daily basis. There was an intense program of plays, opera, and ballet. The citizens somehow were forced to fend for themselves, but through culture, they created resistance from the aggressors, from the war. Also, in 1993, the first war cinema was founded by the Obala Art Center, which now grew into the Sarajevo Film Festival, which is now one of the largest film festivals in the region. Also, artists and galleries, as I have said, were also very active. 100 solo exhibitions and a dozen of group shows were organized. A lot of these artistic performances, works, interventions, exhibitions were organized in buildings that were destroyed, damaged, and abandoned during this period, like the Cinema Sutjeska. You can see a photo right there. A lot of the solo exhibitions were performed there. You can see also a photo of an artist on his solo exhibition in the Cinema Sutjeska. Also, on the photo on the left side is the opening of an exhibition at the Sutjeska Cinema. And also, as a form of resistance, the citizens of Sarajevo organized a pageant for Miss Besieged Sarajevo in 1993. Also, it's important to emphasize peace building and reconciliation. And a lot of projects and organizations worked a lot on that, like the Pro Future Project, Center for Peace Building, the Network for Peace Building, which are local organizations that work on peace building and reconciliation to create unity of all peoples who live in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Also, we have the Dealing with the Past project, which is a part of Sarajevo Film Festival. Their main goal is to show through films, through documentations, the unresolved conflicts that were happening in Yugoslavia. Also, the spirit of the reconciliation can be seen through the restoration of many important cultural heritage objects, such as the old bridge in Mostar, the Ferhat Bey's mosque in Banja Luka, the Sarajevo City Hall. And also, I mean, these projects aren't really related to cultural heritage, but we still have institutions that their main goal should be to restore and preserve the cultural heritage. Here you can see a list of institutions, of centers that mainly work to preserve and to raise awareness of our shared cultural heritage and our shared history.
And thank you for your attention.